I'm Jenny, and I've always been passionate about making memories that withstand time. I truly believe that travel has the power to enrich lives and transform them in ways that we never expect. What I love most is helping people experience new things together. There's nothing more rewarding than getting to know my clients and hearing about the priceless moments they create on their travels.
Hi, I'm Carla Morrissey, and I am very passionate about travel because I'm a firm believer that you need to step away from the everyday life, unplug, turn off, and be with your family. I made my husband promise me when we got married, you need to give me 1 week a year where you turn everything off and we leave. We go and we explore. We just are together doing adventures. Now, we do more than 1 week, obviously, but that's how I got involved in travel. And there's more stories on that. We want you guys to hang out and talk with us about your travels and what you want with travel.
All right, Carla, tell us about what is one of your most memorable travel experiences?
Usually, honestly, Jenny, the next travel is always my next because I'm always trying to top that one, but there's always so many. But I'll tell you, what makes me think about travel and what I want to do with travel and my most memorable experience is when we used to drive from Chicago down to Florida. And the first
Oh.
big trip was, I remember there was no internet. We had the map and the highlighter and the books
And the paper
all over the
maps.
table, all over the table. That's my mother. And we had it mapped out. Well, that's still what I do. I still will print out things, even though here's a schedule right here for some of my next travels. And that's what I remember. And that's what got me into it, was seeing my mom so passionate about that. And my parents so excited to take us to experience these things. And I remember that one specific trip, and it went from that day. I always wanted to travel the world.
Wow, those are some sweet memories. And who would have thought that that small seed would have made such a big impact on you that this is now what you do for a career?
Absolutely. That was mom and dad. I tell you, they made sure that we did our trips and saw things and went and did the very touristy things. So they definitely helped me with that. It's all my parents' fault. So
That's great. And that is a very sweet story, but I have to tell you, my most memorable travel experience is not going to be one of those sweet stories. My most memorable travel experience had to be the time that I fell inside Universal Orlando, and I took my first ever ambulance ride to the emergency
oh
room.
no.
And
When was that?
it was of March 2020. Yes, that March
Weren't
2020.
we?
COVID. Yes.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That was a
Hmm.
big trip for us.
Yeah. That was a big trip. That was actually the trip that you and I actually met
That's
on.
where we met. We met on what's called a FAM. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but a FAM is a familiarization trip for travel agents. And it's where we go and they host us at different resorts, places for us to experience for you. And Jenny and I were put in the same tour group, and that's where we met. When did you fall?
The
I don't
irony,
know this. When did you fall? Were we still on the trip?
I think it was the last day. So we went, and we did the fam tour and all that stuff. The next day I had stayed an extra day so I could do it all with my family because it actually was around my daughter's birthday. So I thought, you know what, we'll have them come down, we'll do a day, it'll be
That's so
great.
fun.
And it's the best story. We were in Mythos. Have you ever eaten at Mythos?
That's a great dinner. Great dinner. Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were in Mythos, and if you haven't been in there, they have booths in some part of the dining area where the seats are kind of elevated up a step.
Mhm.
And we were in one of those booths, and I needed to go use the facilities. So I get up, and I forget that there is a step, and I fall.
Jenny Joe.
And I am not a graceful person. So it is a tuck and roll once I initially land on my knee. My knee took the impact.
Ah,
And yeah, that was great. I rolled under this couple, they were eating. I rolled
no,
under
no,
their
under
table.
the table.
Yeah, I was
I don't
under
mean to
their
laugh,
table.
but
No, you should. It's funny now. It was not funny then, but it's funny now. But I rolled under their table, and I'm in so much pain and I am not speaking. I'm just kind of like when I'm in a lot of pain, sometimes I don't speak. I'm just laying there. I think there were some tears coming out. I wasn't screaming or anything, but I might have been groaning. And the people, I kid you not, okay, imagine I'm laying flat on the floor. I'm looking up at the table, and those people, they pick their chairs up. They kind of scoot them a little bit, and they scoot their table, and they continue on with their meal while
No.
I'm laying down.
I'm picturing it because I know what this place looks like. So
Oh my gosh, it
okay, so
was
those of you that have not been there, it is like you're in a cave. You're in a cave and
yes,
you're going through all of these, what are they called? Stagmite, I don't know what those things are called, but they're hanging from everywhere. So you're always ever. I
yeah.
can't believe you did that.
Oh
How did
yeah.
you fall?
When I got it. I ended up when I got up, when I finally actually got up, I couldn't move my leg. My knee would not work. It was in so much pain. But I had like pieces of rice and some pepperoni stuck to me, so that was fun. So really, it was definitely. So
Please
see,
tell me
that's
somebody
what
got a
made it
video
so
of this.
memorable.
Please tell me someone got the video.
I do think I got very lucky, and that hopefully there is not video footage out there. So listeners out there, if you have video footage, it's
I
okay
need
if
to
it
talk to
doesn't
the
make its way
girls
to
because they need to be trigger happy with that.
it.
Because I would have
It was
gotten it.
so
I would have
funny.
gotten it, Jenny. I'm not going to lie. I love you. Yes, I love you, but I would have gotten it. I would have. We would have had it.
I joke now with them because they come rushing over and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm shaking my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And they're like, "Do you need anything?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe one of you guys could scoot over another piece of pepperoni. I could eat on it while I'm down here." And everybody bust out laughing, but I'm
Oh, no.
seriously in bawling and crying. It was awful.
So when did
But
the
I ended up having
ambulance
to take it.
come?
So I got to see behind the scenes at
Yeah.
Universal. They had a medic come.
Okay.
They put me on a wheelchair. I got to see the behind the scenes. They looked at it and they're like, "Look, we're not sure you didn't break your kneecap."
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like,
Jenny.
"Of course, yeah." So I got to. They called an ambulance. Took my very
Did
first
they okay,
ever
so did they
ambulance
take you
ride.
from the restaurant? Did the ambulance come into the park?
They came. So the restaurant, where everybody else can see those gates and
Yeah.
stuff. They wheeled me behind the gate, and back there's an infirmary.
Okay.
And so I was back there. I was on a bed, and there were, believe it or not, I was not the only one back there. There were several people back there, people that had like some issues with the
I was just
heat
gonna ask.
and some twisted ankles. But I was the only one the ambulance was there for.
Oh, ah, man, I wish I would have known. I would have helped
Well,
you.
the hospital, I don't know what hospital they took me to, but they took me to a hospital and they were so great.
Good.
They gave top notch care. Oh, it
The
was somewhere
Universal
right outside of
Hospital. They
Universal
all
Studios
do they
because it
all
only
I
took us
think
a
they
few
all have
minutes to
their
get
own
there.
facilities. Medics.
Do
I
what?
think they all have their own like medics and things.
Oh no, this was like actual
So it was
ambulance.
outside. It was probably Orlando.
Yes.
Wow.
So they took me out, and I had great care at that hospital. They were in the know, and they gave me some pain medication there
Mm-hmm.
at the hospital, which was great. Came back, we got a scooter. It was
Oh, those are great.
great because the scooter company that we used, they brought it to me, and then when we left, they picked it up. It was the best of the worst kind of situation.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I
so,
think,
but yeah, that
you
was
know,
one of my most memorable
I
stories.
hate to say it, but now you know firsthand on how to handle all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
no doubt, okay, check that off. I know how to handle that for my clients next time if something happens. You hope not.
I will tell you, it has also taught me when I go very far
Mhm.
places, and I suggest this to clients as well, is I always look to see where the nearest hospital is. Because like Orlando has several. So maybe
Smart.
you want to decide which one you want to go to in case of an
That's
emergency, or
smart.
if there's a pediatric hospital
Yeah.
nearby.
I
So
see a
yeah.
lot of questions
So
like that asked online. I do. You belong
yeah.
to all the groups and things like that. And I do see a lot of, unfortunately, parents jumping on, frantic moms
Hmm.
looking for, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. What do I need to do? Um, you know, Called concierge, but it's always good to know where you're at and know where you can go.
Well, I'm a testimony that it doesn't always have to be the kids that
No,
fall and go boom.
no. Wow. That's too bad. Jenny, I didn't know that. And
Yeah, that was a good time.
you did not break the kneecap.
I did not, but
Okay.
it took a long time for it to heal. Like
Ugh.
it's still tender and it's been, 5
Okay,
years.
well, that is a memorable travel experience, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And don't get me wrong, we have plenty of great ones, but that one is like the most
Oh,
fresh, biggest moment because it checked off a lot of boxes.
right. And that was like right before everything ended. We don't like to talk about that,
Hmm.
but March
Hmm.
19th is when they closed all the parks and we were leaving days before that.
And I would have never have thought when you and I met on, like, we had known each other for
Yeah.
years and we had talked online for years.
Yep.
And so meeting was super special, but I never would have thought when we met that we would be here today
No,
starting this
no,
podcast.
no. We've got that picture, and it is just ironic that we were put in the same group, and there we were, and it was just fun.
Yes. And I am going to post that picture on our social media so everyone be prepared, be able to laugh at us from what we looked like 5 years
That's
ago.
actually that's actually my screensaver for you for when you call me.
Is
That is your profile photo is of me and you.
well,
Yeah.
well, now you know that is pre-fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was
Yeah,
pre-fall. Whew,
that was pre-fall.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Oh my. Yeah, I don't have any hospital. Oh, I do. I've got something like that. A medic's a little quip, a little story. Okay. If I could throw that out there. We were in
You
we were
can.
in Puerto Vallarta. One of the trips that I said, gotta sign us off, okay? And I like to have a good time when when we're on vacation. And we were at Bavaro, and that is an all inclusive in Puerto Vallarta. And I kind of wanted to be off the strip, so we were kind of in this cove, and it was great. Not too much around the hotel, and I try to make friends when we travel. So we met up. We met another
I'm not
right.
surprised.
Couples. We met two couples that we kind of really clicked with, and this was about 9 years ago, and we're still friends with them today. But we were all down by the pool, and you know how all the all inclusives are going, the drinks are flowing, and we're having fun. Well, there's gigantic Jenga around the corner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's all go play that. So we're
Oh
over
no.
there, gigantic Jenga, and they're like 2x4s, they're huge, and it was tall. They even had a little ladder next to it. I'm like, oh, I like this one. So I tapped it, and it started to wobble, and I got sunglasses on and a white bathing suit cover up, right? And I tap it, and all of it comes down on top of me. And I'm like, oh my God. So it fell, and I'm like, oh, funny, funny. And I'm like, whew, that really hurt. And I walk over to the side, and all of a sudden I'm like, God, am I sweating? And I feel my face. And Jim looks at me and says, oh my God, you're bleeding. And there's like blood running down my face. I had
What?
the biggest gash in the top of my head from one of the Jenga boards and standing around us. So now I'm standing there looking like I'm like I just had a shark attack in the ocean because now blood all over my suit cover up, and everyone's freaking out. And one of the couples that we met was an older couple and Colombian, and he starts yelling, in another language, freaking out, the older man. And he runs over, and they get people running over to me. They sit me down, and they're looking, and I start hearing her, the woman, start talking to the nurse and saying, I heard the word hospital and I heard stitches. And I turned to her and I
Oh
said,
no.
I'm not going to the hospital and I'm not getting stitches. And here comes Carlos running over with what I thought was a glass of water because I was ready to pass out. And I'm like, I'm going to pass out. It's hot. I'm bleeding now. And now I'm freaking out. And I swig, and it's a gigantic glass of tequila.
You know that would make it
Yep.
better.
Well, of course, that's what he's going to give me. And I'm like, whoa. Okay. They took care of me so good. And then I'm sitting off at the side of the pool, and, everyone's like around me. And I'm like, now I just don't want anyone near me. And we're just sitting there, and oh, it's hurting. I'm just relaxing now. All of a sudden, little miss comes walking up in a suit, and she's like, oh, Mrs. Morrissey, we've been looking for you. You have. And I'm like, okay. And she said, yes. She says, you know what? We realized you're having a little bit of a problem in your room. There's a plumbing issue. So we're going to move you up to the penthouse suite up there. It's 3 rooms. We had living room, 3 bars in the room, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. I took one for the team. They upgraded us, and they treated us like we were royal. This was on the second day of the trip.
Wow. That is really
They were
great.
phenomenal. So not going to say I did it on purpose, but it was a fun little story that we still
Yeah,
tell to this
I
day.
don't think it's the
No,
same. I got crusty pepperoni off the
and I
floor,
got
and
upgraded
you
into
got like a 3-bedroom
a three
suite.
bedroom suite. And then every time we
Yeah.
walked out to the pool, you know how all those all inclusives are, and for any of you that haven't been to them, you need to go. I'm telling you. We're walking out to the pool because now they know who you all are there. And we would hear, woohoo, Mrs. Jenga's in the house.
All right, you heard it here,
Yep.
folks. Carla may now have a new name,
Mrs.
Mrs.
Jenga.
Jenga.
And Jim was then Mr. Jenga the rest of the trip. I then had friends that I sent there about 2 months later, and I told them to go to the bar at the pool and the people that do all the games and tell them that you are Mrs. Jenga's friend. And they did. And they knew who I was.
And they
They
remembered.
remembered me. Yep.
Yeah.
I got fun stories.
That is
I got fun stories. I got more. We'll leave
crazy.
all the rest for more days.
Well, that's what is exciting about us having this podcast
Yes.
now. We've got so many great stories to share, so many exciting topics lined up. We're going to talk about the best cruise experiences to top destinations like Alaska, Greece, the Caribbean. We both love to cruise. And soon we're going to be diving into the cruise industry and why it's one of the best ways to see the world. I know it's my favorite way to travel.
Too.
And we have an extra special episode coming up, don't we, Carla? That's going to be about Princess Cruises' brand new ship, Sun Princess.
Okay, I just got the chills. What is the date?
Yeah.
And you guys will probably see this after, but in about 4 days. As of right now, I will be in Barcelona, Spain, getting ready to get on the Sun Princess.
So we'll be able to get all the latest scoop, the pictures, and hopefully there won't be any Mrs. Jenga stories on this trip, Carla. Fingers crossed.
I don't think we're going to have any Jenga stories on this one.
Okay.
No.
All right,
but we're going to have some fun ones. I'm really excited about some of the things I've heard about this ship. Not going to lie, maybe some Jenga stories, maybe not as destructive because they do have 200 new libations on the menu. New, adding to the whole list. And I promise you, I'm bringing you all of them.
You're going to try them all?
I'm going to try to. We're going with 20 people, so we will try them all.
But that's the great thing about this, that trip is one of your bucket list trips, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. My sister's actually going to be on it with us, and it all started with that. This is something that you and I like to do, and my sister did, and she wanted to go, and she wanted to make this a very special trip, and we're all making it for her, and that's with 20 of her friends and me as her sister. We're all going together. We're going to experience it together. Absolutely.
Bucket lists are important to me because that way you're able to tick off the things that you really want to see the most. Mm-hmm. So, our listeners, we want to challenge you right now to start thinking about what's on your bucket list. Is it a safari in Africa? Oh. Maybe exploring the beaches of Bali? Let us know. We'll feature your bucket list items on future episodes.
We'd love to hear from you. What's on your bucket list? Drop us a message, and maybe you're going to hear about that on our next episodes.
And don't forget, subscribe and leave a review so you never miss an episode. Your feedback helps us grow and brings you the best travel content out there. You can also reach us in our email at feedback@bucketlistboardingpass.com or find us on Facebook.
Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and remember, your next adventure is just a boarding pass away.